episode 101. That just sounds so crazy. Of the We'll Just Agree.
I told you I was eating before we started this. To disagree.
Podcast.
What up, B?
Oh my gosh. We're going to go through another 100 episodes of this mess. Are we?
No.
Are we?
We need to just.
Oh boy.
What's going on today? What are we talking about?
We need to what? Yeah, so today we're going to talk about this whole situation that was trending heavy earlier this week about these NCAA basketball players, Caitlin Clark from the Iowa Hawkeyes and Angel Reese from the LSU Tigers. Now, I'm leaning towards LSU a little bit because, I have a show in New Orleans and we love LSU in New Orleans. But anyway, so the controversy, if you're not familiar, the controversy is Caitlin does this whole, what is it?
You can't see
what
me.
Is this considered? You can't see me. And it actually came from one of those wrestlers from like the WWE or something, John Cena, I think.
And
so
shout out to
Leon
Leon Rogers, who let us know that guy got it from a rapper in G Unit who first started it.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't even go back that far. But to be quite honest, I feel like that's been going on for a while now. I feel like I want to say Dr. J or somebody else used to do this, or I don't know. But anyway, it taunts you. It's like trash talking when it comes to sports. So Caitlin from Iowa was doing that to Angel Reese from LSU. And then when Angel won the championship, NCAA championship for the first time for LSU Tigers, yes. When she did it back, it became a big issue. Well, that's the problem.
The only correction is I think Caitlin was doing it not to LSU, but the game prior, or like a few games prior.
Yeah.
She was doing
it. That was like her little thing that she does. But she did do it to LSU as well. No, she never did it to LSU?
No, I always saw her do it to...
Okay, I thought that was her.
I can't think of the school name. They were red, black, and white. That's the clip that she first started to do it. I can't think, but she may have. I think that was the first thing that she started at games before.
I just thought I saw it. I just thought that was her thing that she does. You know how a lot of athletes have a thing that they do? I just thought that was her thing that she did, regardless to who they were playing. But the bottom line is, why the double standard when Angel does it back? I mean, we all know when it comes to sports, the trash talking, you got to have a thick skin. One thing about athletes, especially professional athletes, they do not like to lose. And if they lose, that is so devastating. Like, I've seen grown men cry. You work for the White Sox, I've seen grown men cry at the loss of a Super Bowl game, a World Series, an NBA championship. It's that serious because that's what they do for a living. Their love, that's their lifestyle, that's their livelihood. But I think this may have gone a little too far. Like this whole controversy of if she could do it to others, then when it's done to her, why is it a big deal?
Well, I think first, I don't know if it's like her thing that she does, because what I have noticed, and I'm going to say this disclaimer, I'll give credit. Caitlin is a dope hooper. The girl's dropping 40 plus points in multiple games. She's dope. So I'm not going to take that away from her. She does a lot of trash talking. It was 2 games ago where she did the "You Can't See Me." The game prior to playing LSU, when they beat University of South Carolina, that was undefeated and they were predicted to win. There was a point guard that Caitlin was guarding that she didn't think could shoot. Caitlin stood all the way back. And when they're like, yo, you need to guard her, she literally did like this, like, we ain't worried about her. I'm finna let you shoot it. I dare you to. Say all that to say, Caitlin does a lot of trash talking. She can also... I don't want to say it's disrespectful because that's what it is. That's the game of basketball that we like. You got to get competitive like that. The whole thing is, and I love to see it, that our sister who won that game threw it back. You did this to people. Now I'm about to do it back to you. They were literally asking them in a press conference, what made y'all go so hard on Caitlin? And Angel plus a few other players literally said, South Carolina, that's not our team, but we all in the same division. We all in the SEC. Those still our sisters. We saw the way she was disrespecting them. So when we came out on court today, we had that built up against her too. If you
Mhm.
gonna do all that trash talking, you gotta be ready to get it back. And I think it's so sad that a simple move like this once again showed some of the, I'm just gonna call it what it is, the racism
Yeah.
that still lives. Because backstory, I told you behind the scenes, I unfriended a few people off of Facebook that I grew up with, that I went to school with. But because of the
Wow.
statuses they were making about it, it showed me like, oh, okay, I see where you're at mentally. To say that this team,
Mhm.
although we did not win, I'm so glad Iowa has class. Do you understand that your point guard, your star, is the one that kicked off this whole conversation? But racists,
Exactly.
they tend to forget what, you know what I'm saying? Like, they forget
Mhm.
you started this. They threw it back at her.
Exactly.
What's up?
Exactly. Now, I wasn't even thinking racism at first because I was just thinking sportsmanship, poor
Nah,
sportsmanship,
G.
like you're a big baby, whatever. I'm just saying initially, because what they have in common is they're both females,
Mm-hmm,
they're both competitors,
mm-hmm,
they're both athletes. So I
mm-hmm,
wasn't thinking race initially because,
mm-hmm.
real talk, everything can't be predicated on race, not everything. So
No, but if it quacks like a
initially,
duck and it walks like a duck, because
absolutely. I mean, I'm a black
everything,
woman. I get it.
but
But what
even
I'm
everything
saying
you stated
is,
right there, women athlete, this and that, you missed the main one,
right,
black,
my
white.
point is after I got all those X's checked out the box, I was like, okay, hold on. Yeah, this is a race thing because she's black and she's white. At first, what I'm saying is initially I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? There's got to be something a little deeper here because they both are athletes and they're both females. So it wasn't a gender thing, it wasn't a profession thing. It boils down to being a race issue. And the words that are describing it, classless, ghetto, whatever, whatever, why aren't those same words used for the girl who started it all, Caitlin? Like, really? So it's sad that in 2023, we are still going through this same stuff. Once again, racism has reared its ugly head. And it's just sad. I mean, yeah, I don't want you thinking I didn't think it was racism. I just was like, let me analyze this because this is getting a little too deep. I mean, I went
And
to bed
maybe,
seeing social media viral stuff about it. I woke up seeing it and I was like, okay, this one ain't dying down anytime soon. And it stayed hot for, a few days or so. And I'm just like, this is really bad
and it
over
could
a
be because I
sport.
was invested, because like I love March Madness, so I was watching men and women. So I watched like their Final Four. So since up until the Final Four, I didn't really watch it, but I watched the Final Four. I saw the way
Mhm.
Caitlin was moving. I saw what she did to University of South Carolina. I didn't like that personally, but hey, you want to be competitive? Cool. Y'all beat the number one team undefeated? Cool. I knew the moment it happened when I saw it. I
Mhm.
knew the way they were after the game, how they were geeked. This team won a national championship. Find me somebody else that's not going to be probably cocky in that moment. I would be cocky in that moment. But even the way that the commentators were speaking, I watched the
Mhm.
whole cutting down the ceremony, the trophy. I watched everything. I already knew from that moment it was going to be an issue. And then I went to Twitter literally right after, and it already was happening. Everybody was dogging them for
Yeah.
how cocky they were being, how ghetto they were being. They weren't being media trained or talking media trained. They were being them. And I love that they're not backing down. I love that they're standing 10 toes down.
Right.
I love that they have our culture backing them up. One thing we do have to get on, though, is Jill Biden, Vice
Yeah.
President, First Lady Jill Biden, saying that she wanted to invite not only LSU but also Iowa because she thought it was a great game. I actually really do like Joe Biden from what I know. But we got to be clear. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're watching this, when in
Hmm.
history have we brought the runner up or the one who lost in the championship to the?
Yeah, I don't recall that either. You usually bring the champion and that's it. You don't bring both teams. So, knowing First Lady Biden, knowing her and her reputation and her personality, I think she was trying to diffuse the situation. I really do. But she doesn't realize that that actually is kind of making it worse. So,
Yeah.
according to the White House press secretary, though, who is a black woman who happens to be I believe she's of Haitian descent or something. But anyway, they're kind of walking it back now, saying, yeah, so no, we're just going to invite LSU and not both teams. So it's kind of fluid as of now. But by the time people see this recording of this podcast, I don't know what the outcome is. But Angel already said, I'm not coming, period. So we'll see what happens with that, because I mean, I really hate the fact that this gesture has reigned over the entire parade of a victory. Like, this situation has gotten more attention, in my opinion, than the actual win itself. Like, seriously.
I agree, but I also think God works in mysterious ways, because I do think we have to bring light to the numbers that they were even saying that this women's game did watched wise. It was a sellout. The views went crazy. You know what I'm saying? I think it brought light back to like, hey, women's basketball is very competitive. Their game was way better than the men's championship game Monday night. So, and no one's talking about that. So I do think God works in mysterious ways. Hey, for me, I take it as a blessing in disguise, because I took 2 people off my Facebook friend list that I now know what your viewership is.
And I'm looking at people side eye that I've had this conversation with. No names necessary, but I'm just like,
drop the name.
That's how you feel? Okay. That's how you feel?
Yep.
Oh, okay then. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, seriously, it's not a good look, but I really, really want this to kind of go away, but not go away, because you're right. It's once again bringing light to the racism. And this is a great quote that I saw online. It says, the reaction to Angel Reese taunting Caitlin Clark is I can't even read my own writing, is a sickening case of double standards. That's how you sum that up. And you know what?
It's ignorance. If you can't see, it's ignorance. And in this day and age, in 2023, we should not have to explain to you, hey, the same, that all females and women should have the same equal rights as men. If we have to explain that to you in this day and age, we really are at a low point.
Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, like I said, once again, it's reared its ugly head. Will it ever go away? It seems like in 2023, we're going backwards. It seems like some of these racist episodes are getting worse, and they are getting more blatant than ever. I look at timelines all the time, and I'm shaking my head at some of the comments that are made, some of the things that are allowed on social media now. Whatever happened to, okay, free speech, but at the same time, you can't be able to say whatever you want to be able to say. Other instances that I find in the media, especially news media, television, when, reporters are doing live shots or they interview someone, they always go for the most animated person of color. It's
never, I call it what it is. They go for the most ghetto person. They ain't got no teeth. They barely got their hair done. Shirt half off. And you sit there cringing. Like, why is this the person you got to talk about so-and-so just got killed?
When clearly there's other people. Or you know what? Still use that person, but use someone else too, who may be a little bit more articulate.
You know what it is?
You know what I'm saying? Another instance, missing Black women and girls. Those beautiful blonde girls with blue eyes are plastered all over the TV screen, all over billboards, all over social media. But when one of us, a girl of color, a Black woman, just anybody of color, it's like 2 seconds maybe in the news.
If that.
Politicians, prominent people, celebs, same thing. Why do we hold certain races and people of color at a different level than we do others? I'm just saying, indicted former presidents. Oh, he will not be handcuffed.
I don't.
Mugshot may be taken. Now, we all know if that's a Black person, you're going to do the walkthrough, you're going to do the mugshot, you're going to do the handcuffs, you're going to do all those things. But certain individuals don't have to be handcuffed. Why not? You've been indicted, sir. So why aren't you handcuffed like anyone else
But are we
who's
shocked
accused of
by this though?
something? Absolutely not. And that's really the sad
Thank you.
part.
I don't want
It's
you to
almost
be,
like we expect it.
but you move accordingly. You know how to move. I know for
Yeah.
me, I keep going
Yeah.
back to the Facebook thing. I'm gonna move accordingly. I don't want you on my space. When I go to social media, I don't want somebody, unfortunately, that has that mindset. I don't care if I know you since high school. I don't care how long it's been. If you have that mindset, I can't move accordingly because I know if this is what you're confident to put on social media, what are you saying behind closed doors?
Mm,
So
yeah.
we
Yeah.
know this lives here. We have had these conversations with people that we interact with on a daily basis. You just got to know
Mhm.
how to move because unfortunately it's here. And we only can pray that one day, this world would be equal. But how many years have our people been dealt with this? That we keep getting
Yeah.
down. This black girl literally did the same gesture that the white girl started first, but is being torn down, is being called ghetto, classless, doesn't know what sportsmanship is. Not only did the girl do it first, but then she also was waving her hand at the black player for University of South Carolina. But we don't want to discuss these things. We just want to say this black girl is. And it's killing them that this white girl, and I'm sorry if it's coming off, but it's true emotion that this white girl and this white team, predominantly white team, did not win. That's what's
Yeah.
killing him. And not only did you not win, you got killed.
Yeah, it was a nice little lead. What is it? Like 102 to 80
Yes,
something
they
or
broke a
whatever.
record for that. The most points scored in the females national tournament game. Like, shout out to LSU. Shout out to your New Orleans. How do y'all say it out there, Beyonce?
New Orleans.
And on that note, we're gonna wrap up episode 101 before we get talking too much.
Yeah.
We'll just agree to disagree podcast, guys. Make sure you subscribe and follow. You can follow me on Instagram at Riot Media Lee.
And you can follow me at Beyonce Fox everywhere, but don't be putting no racist stuff on my stuff.
I'll put it
Because
on
yes,
mine if
you
you
will be
want to.
blocked or you will be deleted because my mindset is so beyond all that mess. I'm all about positivity. If you don't have anything kind to say, please don't say it at all on my social media. But then again, you know what? Say what you want. Say what you want. Yeah, say what you want. I'll handle it accordingly.
We are out, Beyonce.
Go LSU.
Yeah.